The movie begins in a peaceful rural village in Thailand, where life moves quietly beside a vast river and dense jungle. One day, a group of boys playing near the water discovers a gigantic egg unlike anything they have ever seen. Curious and excited, they gather around it and begin touching it, completely unaware that they have just made the biggest mistake of their lives. At the same time, a fisherman notices something enormous moving beneath the water. Seconds later, a terrifying creature erupts from the river and unleashes a deafening roar that freezes everyone in fear. The giant beast completely ignores the fishermen and charges straight toward the children gathered around the egg. By the next morning, the area has become a crime scene filled with confusion and terror. A detective arrives to investigate and discovers that only one child survived, but the boy is so traumatized that he cannot speak. Strange mud-like substances cover the area, and nobody can explain what attacked the victims. As authorities begin searching for answers, a family living nearby has no idea that they are about to become part of the nightmare. A young girl named May is awakened by her mother, Lynn, who is worried because her fisherman husband never returned home from the river. May and her older brother, Kang, begin searching throughout the village for clues. During the search, May becomes separated from Kang and wanders into the fields. There, she discovers gigantic footprints pressed deep into the mud. Following the trail, she finds another enormous egg. Fascinated by the mysterious object, she decides to bring it home despite having no idea where it came from. When Lynn sees the giant egg, she immediately becomes frightened and demands that May return it to wherever she found it. But the stubborn girl refuses to listen. Instead, she secretly carries the egg near the river and begins building a nest for it. Suddenly, the egg starts moving. Before May can react, a massive shape rises from the dark water. The same terrifying creature emerges from the river and approaches the child. Moments later, Lin and Kang arrive and find only May's slipper floating on the surface, forcing them to confront the horrifying possibility that she has vanished. As panic spreads, Lin suddenly spots the giant creature in the water. The beast lunges toward Kang, nearly killing him. Mother and son barely manage to escape with their lives and flee across the fields. Unfortunately, the monster begins attacking anyone who crosses its path. Villagers run in every direction as the creature tears through farms, crushing everything around it. People are struck down one after another, while desperate survivors hide in silence, listening helplessly to screams echoing through the countryside. Kang and Lin eventually find a hiding place among bushes, where terrified survivors remain completely still, hoping not to attract the creature's attention. When they finally attempt to escape, Kang is struck by a sharp object and suffers a serious shoulder injury. Despite the pain, he continues moving with his mother's help until they reach safety. A passing driver rescues them and rushes them to a hospital in the city, where doctors immediately begin treating Kang's wound while police gather information about the mysterious attacks. Lin struggles to explain what happened because the experience has shattered her emotionally. Even so, authorities realize that something monstrous is threatening the entire region. While officers organize investigations, the creature continues moving through nearby communities, leaving destruction everywhere it goes. Reports of attacks begin multiplying. Witnesses describe an enormous, mutant-like monster appearing out of nowhere, before disappearing again into darkness and rain, leaving only bodies and devastation behind. As investigators search for answers, Kang notices something disturbing happening to his injury. Strange, sticky material begins emerging from his wound, and he suddenly experiences vivid visions. Through these mysterious connections, he realizes that May might still be alive. Convinced he knows where the monster is hiding, Kang rushes to tell his mother. Authorities quickly organize a hunting party and agree to let him guide them to the creature's location, deep within an abandoned structure. When the team arrives, they surround the monster and launch explosive attacks. The enraged creature bursts from hiding and charges through the crowd. Civilians scatter while armed men trap it in a giant net and continue attacking it relentlessly. However, something impossible begins happening. Every injury inflicted on the monster causes Kang to suffer as well. As the creature weakens, Kang collapses. Lin realizes there is some strange connection between her son and the beast and desperately begs everyone to stop before her child dies. While that chaos unfolds elsewhere, two officers discover a giant egg during a rainstorm. Standing nearby is May, alive but deeply traumatized. Unable to explain where she has been, she is taken into protective custody along with the egg. At the same time, authorities decide to evacuate civilians toward a temple for safety. The captured creature remains under guard, but Lin continues pleading for mercy because every attack against the monster causes visible pain to Kang. Meanwhile, Inspector James transports May and the recovered egg while trying to reconnect with his own daughter, Pam. Suddenly, something enormous appears in the darkness. The officers quickly realize a horrifying truth. The creature they captured earlier was only a baby. Standing before them is the true giant monster. The enormous parent creature has come searching for its offspring, and now everyone in its path is in mortal danger. The giant beast attacks the vehicles, forcing officers to flee for their lives. James desperately tries to protect his daughter while warning everyone nearby. The monster ignores most targets and focuses entirely on recovering its egg. As fear spreads, explosions briefly distract the creature, but nothing can stop it for long. Inside the damaged vehicle, Pam trembles in terror while the egg begins shaking violently, as if responding to the presence of its mother. If you discovered that the monster hunting your city was only trying to save its child, would you still try to destroy it, or would you help it? Let me know in the comments. Back in the story, the giant creature finally recovers the egg and begins moving away. However, it soon realizes that another child is still missing. Guided by instinct, it continues searching relentlessly while James and the surviving officers struggle to stay alive during the growing catastrophe. The monster eventually reaches the city itself. As civilians evacuate in terror, James rushes his injured daughter towards safety. He promises her that once this nightmare ends, they will finally become the happy family they were always meant to be. Tragically, before she can answer, Pam dies from her injuries in her father's arms. Devastated beyond words, James barely has time to process the loss because the giant creature is already rampaging through the crowded streets. During the evacuation, researchers make a crucial discovery. They realize the monster is not hunting humans at all. Instead, it is searching for its missing offspring and using powerful roars to communicate. At the same time, Kang makes a life-changing decision. Knowing he shares a mysterious bond with the creature, he says goodbye to his mother and climbs into a truck carrying the baby monster. Then he drives away at full speed, using the baby's cries to lure the giant parent far from the city. By the next morning, the immediate threat has disappeared. Rather than revealing the truth, officials decide to hide everything that happened. They publicly claim that videos of the monster are fake and that no creature ever attacked the city. Survivors know the truth, but the official story remains unchanged. May is finally reunited with her mother, while James mourns the loss of his daughter and struggles with the decision to remain silent about the disaster. Eventually, James can no longer accept what happened. He hands over his badge and walks away from his position. Time passes, and life slowly returns to normal. Yet reminders of that terrible night remain scattered along the riverbanks, including enormous footprints and traces of Kang's final sacrifice. Most people try to forget the nightmare, but the unanswered questions surrounding the creature never truly disappear. 5 years later, James returns and begins quietly observing May. Ever since the events surrounding the egg, her behavior has become increasingly strange. One night, he secretly follows her to the river and witnesses something shocking. May performs a ritual-like offering and feeds a goat to a familiar creature lurking in the darkness. James realizes that the surviving baby monster is still alive, and that May has somehow formed a bond with it over the years. Determined to end the threat once and for all, James prepares an elaborate ambush. Armed with explosives and a burning torch, he confronts May beside the river. The baby monster immediately attacks to defend her, leading to a violent confrontation. James manages to injure the creature and detonates multiple explosives that send it crashing to the ground. As he prepares to finish it, May desperately rushes to its side. Suddenly, the giant parent monster appears once again. The enormous creature towers over everything around it, turning the entire situation into a tense standoff. For a brief moment, it seems inevitable that another bloodbath will begin. Yet James hesitates. Standing between May, the wounded creature, and the giant parent, he realizes that his daughter is still gone, and that killing them will not change what happened. Instead of pulling the trigger, he lowers his weapon and walks away. Still haunted by unanswered questions, James journeys into the mountains searching for the truth behind the creatures. Deep within a hidden cave, he discovers an ancient temple covered with mysterious drawings. The images reveal that these monsters have existed for thousands of years, long before modern civilization appeared. As he studies the artwork, he understands that the events which destroyed so many lives were only a small chapter in a much older story. Then, without warning, the candles inside the temple extinguish one by one. James slowly turns around and comes face to face with the giant creature itself. In that final moment, it becomes clear that this sacred place is actually the monster's ancient home. And with that chilling revelation, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Great Animation Recaps, turn on the notification bell so you never miss another epic movie recap, share your thoughts in the comments, and check out the next adventure waiting for you on the channel.